Lisa T here. Um, gosh, feels weird doing a video again. I haven't made a video in a couple of weeks, but I am here for my friend Andy at Next Play Records for his Next Play Records March Madness Brackets Final Community Contest. That's a mouthful. Anyway, I love Andy's attitude. He's just a real great VC member. He and his two brothers both, and all three of them are real assets to this community. I enjoy all of them. He has a great attitude about, that whole next play. You can't be focused on the last play, whether it was the worst play you ever made, whether you screwed up, or whether you killed it. Can't stop to celebrate that too long. You just have to keep going forward, go to the next place. So great attitude, great guy, great channel. He also made a video for mine and Glenn Calloway's Base to Base channel. And he entered our contest today and did a fantastic job. We both love his entry a lot. So go check out Andy. I put the link to his contest announcement. This is supposed to be a push to 200, but he has surpassed that. This morning he was at 211. Deserves every last one of you. Now, I wanted to do something different with my brackets because for those of you who aren't really familiar with my story, Andy wants you to go down to, whittle it down to your favorite, your favorite record of all time. You can see my cats are being bad and getting into the closet behind me, which they can do because I had to take the doorknob off of it because it kept locking. Anyway, just sorry for that distraction. That's my life here, life with cats. So anyway, so yeah, my story. Andy wants us to end up with our favorite record, but the problem is that my very favorite albums, a lot of them I don't even have. So my story is that, I was born in '67, so obviously I started music, started my collection with vinyl, but then over the years, lost a bunch of vinyl. My mother's house burned down, and most of my records were destroyed. I had one little stack of records that I had over at my dad's house, thankfully, that were salvaged. But by then, cassettes and everything had come along, so I just didn't have much of a vinyl collection. Well, then as I got older, several of my family members passed away. I ended up with all of their albums. So I have this enormous collection, but most of it is stuff that's not really mine, my taste or my, what I would want. So this past year, I've been really working on adding things to my collection, but there's just so much that I want that, and some of my favorites are honestly out of, I haven't really been able to find them. So anyway, so I decided I'm going to do something different with this contest, and I'm going to pick of the albums that I have been listening to quite a bit lately. I noticed a lot of them in one way or another were compilations. So I'm going to find my favorite compilation album that I have been listening to recently. I left out soundtracks because honestly, even though they would fit really nicely into this, I haven't been listening to them a lot. So I wanted to stick with the stuff I have been listening to, okay? So I've got 4 lives and 4 studios. So I'm going to put the 4 studios in put them in, so they'll end up down in one bracket, and the lives will end up in another, and then they'll go. Those two will go head to head and see what happens. So I've purposely not given this a whole lot of thought, and here I am almost 5 minutes in, and I haven't even picked my damn albums. I'm so sorry, Andy. Please don't kill me. I'll put in the video what time I actually start this, so you don't have to watch the whole thing. Anyway, so Yeah, so the first two, the genre, not really a genre, but we're gonna pair off two curated albums that ended up with a collection of songs that were picked by a person, making the album almost more about that person than about the actual musicians. Um, First one being Rodney on the Rock with Rodney Bingenheimer, the DJ from out of Southern California, K Rock. Um, he curated these awesome albums featuring local musicians, most of them, and just people that you would not normally get to really hear on the radio. And I love this album. It starts out with an introduction by Brooke Shields and then goes right into Agent Orange Bloodstains, which is just, really, gets you going. And it has let's see, we have the song Amoeba is on here by the Adolescents. There's Circle Jerks. There's Black Flag. There's Rick L. Rick. One of my favorite songs called The Outback. Oh, it's so great. It's just really haunting and creepy, and then it just starts really rocking. And great compilation album curated by Rodney Bingenheimer. Now, this one is not a variety of artists. It's only one artist, but it is Warren Zevon. And this is a record store day item from this past year. It looks like, well, how limited was it? I don't know. But anyway, this is Warren Zevon's music from the 60s and 70s, and it's curated by Judd Apatow, of course, director of, like 40-year-old Virgin. Oh my gosh. Try to spit that word out. This is a great compilation. I mean, it has Poor Pitiful Me on there. I love that. And of course he made sure to put Werewolves of London on here, as I'm sure that was probably a compromise. Although it's a great song, but I'm sure he would have rather focused on, his other music. But I love this album a lot. I've been listening to it. It just is really great. It doesn't sound that great, I'll be honest with you. The pressing is not, it could be better. But, that doesn't bother me that much, though, because, when I was a kid, our records just sounded like shit. We had shit record players, and we didn't know how to take care of them or clean them properly. So, so that sound is actually kind of comforting to me. But you usually don't want a record to sound like that right out of the gate, but even after a thorough cleaning, this record just really doesn't sound that great. But the songs are beautiful, and you can tell how much Judd Apatow loves and respects Warren Zevon. But still, man, I gotta go with Rodney on the Rock. Just got to. So, my other studio albums, compilation-wise, kind of along the lines of being curated, are going to be two greatest hits albums. One is going to be the Beach Boys' Endless Summer, featuring many bass lines by my favorite bass player of all time, Carol Kaye. And the Beatles, 1967 to 1970. Now, I have to be honest with you. I know all of the Beatles songs, but I can't really call myself a huge Beatles fan. But I do love their music a lot. And like I said, I grew up with them. I know the words to just every song. I can sing right along with it. And then we have this Beach Boys' Endless Summer, the nice capital. This has, California Girls. This has, well, you all know. You're probably familiar enough with this. To be honest with you, if you put the Beatles and the Beach Boys up against the Bee Gees, I would pick the Bee Gees. And I know them's fighting words to a lot of you guys in the community, but it's how I feel. But between these two, I'm going to go with the Beach Boys. Carol Kay. Carol Kay on bass. Got to. Okay, let's see here. So now we're going with live albums. Now I have 2 live albums of kind of like different established musicians in their own right, you know, coming together to, you know, for a concert. And let's see, the first one we'll do is No Nukes. No Nukes. This is from the late 70s. It's from the Muse concerts for non-nuclear future, recorded at Madison Square Garden, September 19th through the 23rd, 1979. This is a triple album. I loved, let me take this out of here so you can, but look at who all was there. It's just crazy, okay? Look at that. Chaka Khan, Ry Cooder, Gil Scott-Heron, I love him. The Revolution will not be televised. Nicolette Larson, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, of course. Carly Simon, Bonnie Raitt, Bruce Springsteen, Cosby, Stills, Nash. And, I mean, this was just an amazing concert. And I feel really grateful that I have this in my collection. See, images from the concert. But I also have, look at the condition that the inner sleeves are in. Great condition. And I have the book. Isn't that nice? We have some anatomy. We have an anatomy lesson going on there. Radiation kills. Well, I'll tell you, I know it's a whole different kind of radiation, but radiation kind of saved my life. So, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, No Nukes. And then going up against the Quintet, another great concert. We have Herbie Hancock, Freddie Hubbard, Wayne Shorter, Ron Carter, one of the greatest bass players. I think he's the most recorded jazz bass player of all time. And then Tony Williams, of course. And this was recorded at the Greek Theater, University of California at Berkeley in 1977, and also at the San Diego Civic Center. But another great concert. And great picture. There's Ron Carter. Greatest bass player. Carol Kay may be my favorite, but I don't know. Brian Wilson from Beach Boys called Carol Kay the greatest bass player of all time. I don't know if there is not one greatest, but Ron Carter definitely gives her a run for her money. Oh my goodness. So, which one am I going to listen to again and again? I mean, honestly, it's really hard because the No Nukes album, you know, that has meant a lot to me over the years. Eek. Man, why did I put these two against each other? And why did I take everything out of the jacket? Now I've just made a mess. Okay. So, man. Well, this sucks. Okay. If I had to listen to one of these every single day, I would pick, I'll pick Quintet. I'll pick Quintet. The other is a bigger concert, but yeah, we're gonna go with, we're gonna have to give it to Herbie and Ron Carter. Uh-oh. Huh, I tore my sleeve. Okay. So, and then in the last bracket, going up against the 2 live albums are Talking Heads, Soundtrack to Stop Making Sense, which is from their Speaking in Tongues tour, actually, is when that was filmed. They filmed at the Pantages Theater. Versus Rush, Exit Stage Left, which I love. You can tell this album, I wore it out. It's got all this ring wear and oh my gosh. Okay, well, Talking Heads is my favorite band of all time. Everybody knows that. But here's my problem with this album, okay? If there never was the DVD, this would be great. But because of the, not the DVD, the movie, but because of the movie, I know that it starts with Psycho Killer. And I know that it ends with Cross-Eyed and Painless. And I know everything in between. Well, instead of making this a double album, they made it a single album, and they completely reordered the songs. And so it bothers me to listen to this because although this was a great gift to me from my friend DJ Chonkla, but I have, if I had it on CD, which I used to, but I gave it away to somebody because I'm always giving away my Talking Heads because I want to share them. So I didn't have that to show, or else I would have pitted it against it. There'd be a different outcome if I would have had the CD here, because the CD actually has everything in order, just like the concert, and that would win. But I have to pick this. I have to pick Rush. First of all, it opens with what used to be my favorite Rush song, which is Spirit of Radio. Subdivisions is my favorite Rush song right now. But, I don't know. It also has YYZ. I mean, okay, get this lineup here, okay? Spirit of Radio, followed by Red Barchetta, then YYZ or YYZ for my Canadian and UK friends. But, we have Closer to the Heart and Jacob's Ladder, and it's just it's an awesome double album. So, okay, all right. So now we have Beach Boys' Endless Summer versus Rodney on the Rock. Love Carol Kay, love the Beach Boys, but honestly, I've listened to this album every day since I found it again. I love it. So now we have Rush, Exit Stage Left, versus the Quintet. That's a tough one. I've really been listening to this a lot lately. It's a really great performance. I love it. But man, I got to give it up to Rush, Exit Stage Left. my studio is Rodney on the Rock, featuring, it's mostly punk, kind of post-punk, a couple of new wave songs, awesome song from the Nuns, versus one of the best live performances I've ever heard pressed to vinyl. Um, what would you pick? I don't even have to ask most of you. I know most of you would pick Rush. And I love Rush a lot. And it's a great live album for sure. But in the end, my favorite compilation album is Rodney on the Rock, 1980, Rodney Bingenheimer. Yep. Let me read the full track list to you, okay? Plus, there's a part in here I didn't show you because it's so old and delicate. But look, it comes with a flip side magazine. All right. It has a little description of all of the, I shouldn't be licking my fingers. Oh, here he is. Here's Rodney with Brooke Shields. All right. And, you know, here they talking about all of the different bands, and Agent Orange, Adolescence, Circle Jerks. I mean, so many. David Microwave, I Don't Want to Hold You. That's more of a new wave song. Black Flag. This, of course, 1980 is obviously pre-Henry Rollins, Black Flag. But yeah, okay. So, Rodney on the Rock. Thanks, Andy, for such an awesome contest. I apologize my video was so long. Love everybody. I will be back to make another contest video after this one. Oh, wait a minute. I was going to turn this off. Don't forget to subscribe to Andy at Next Play Records. The link is in the description. And don't forget to subscribe to Base to Base with Lisa and Glenn. Love you. Bye-bye.